Hello, my old friend. It's been a while since we last chatted, so I thought that I would talk to you because I have a lot to say about today, and well, the last week or so it's been pretty intense. Well, last Saturday, a week and a day ago, I was sitting on the toilet. Okay, I'm sorry for telling you that information, which you probably didn't want to know. But I was on my phone while sitting there, and there was a house that got listed for sale in our town. So I was like, hey, honey, there's a house, and it's for sale, and it's pretty cheap, so maybe we should buy it. Because we live in a big house right now. It's got 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and 2 living rooms, and a kitchen and laundry room, and I don't know what other rooms it has because that's pretty much all of them. Anyway, the other house, it's only 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and I thought that would be pretty nice, pretty doable. But actually what I also thought was that it was pretty cute because the person who bought the house last fall, which is only like 6 months ago or so, it's March right now, and the other people, they bought it in October, and it seems like they're running away. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that, but I'll tell you that they are leaving all of their furniture and stuff in their house because they just took their clothes and food and they left. They booked it on out of here. Anyway, now we're under contract, so not even, that Saturday, I texted my realtor friend and I was like, hey, we want to buy this cheap house, and do you have time to show it to us? So we went and looked at it because she did have time to show it to us. Anyway, that's what we did. We went and looked at the house, and then we were like, we think we want this house. It would be great to downsize. Right now, we have like half an acre. Also, there's so much yard to mow. And there's a hill in the backyard. Mowing a hill with a push mower is not my favorite thing to do. It's good exercise, I will give it that, but not my favorite thing to do. Anyway, the other house, it has like a quarter of the yard, which I'm pretty excited about. It's got a small front yard and a carport. That's the only big downside, in my opinion, going from a 2-car garage to a carport. That'll be a bummer, but oh well, we'll figure it out. I'm assuming we'll build a shed of some sort, I hope. I do want a garden again. That's another downside. Right here, I have this huge garden. It's like 50 feet by 50 feet. Yeah, it's pretty big. I had it all planned out too, actually. My 7-year-old had an assignment for her class that talked about planning out a garden, and I was like, why would we plan out a fake garden when we could plan out a real garden? So that's what we did. We planned out a real garden for my real backyard that we have right now, except in a month we're moving, so that's what's gonna happen. We're moving in a month. Crazy story. Yeah, we got under contract, and now we're going places. Going to a smaller house and saving money. Great stuff there. I like saving money, but sometimes I like spending it. Today, I spent $10 on a Little Caesars pizza. It was pretty good. My 5 kids and I, we each had a piece, and then I had another half of a piece and shared some more with the others, and yeah, some of us got more than a whole piece. Anyway, that was fun. Today also started off kind of interestingly because I woke up. Can you imagine that? No, I'm just joking. And then I went grocery shopping on my Walmart app. That was nice and quiet this morning at 6:30 until my 3-year-old came and told me good morning, and then she laid in my bed and snuggled for a minute, and it was pretty cute because I was able to put my hand on her head, and then I took it off, and then she grabbed it and put it back on, and it was pretty adorable. But anyway, I did my grocery shopping nice and early, but then I was also shopping for some under cabinet lights. I think that would be really fun for my kitchen. It might make our house sell better because we're planning on selling this one because we don't need 2 houses. 1 is enough. Oh man, the other day I made up a dumb song and I regretted it very badly. I was in the van with all my kids. We were driving home from someplace, and oh man, I can't even remember what I was eating. Oh yeah, cheese sticks. I bought cheese sticks. And I was eating one. And then I called to my children in the back, like, hey, can I get another cheese stick? And they said, sure. And then they handed me a cheese stick. And then I made up a dumb song. And I said, 1 is enough, but I want 2. And then my 3-year-old sang it. And I was like, oh no, what did I do? So then, yeah, that song was way too catchy, and everybody thought it was great fun to sing that song. And so then they told Daddy about my song, and then I regretted it worse because it was a terrible, terrible song to make up and sing. Oh man, sorry, I'm talking way too much about the song, but it was funny. And then I tried to redo the song and make it be other stuff like 1 is enough and you get no more. But anyway, that was fun. So I got my grocery shopping done this morning, and then I went and made a cobbler. I used up the peaches from my freezer, and I added strawberries, and then I cooked cobbler. It was my grandma's recipe. It's a good one. I almost have it memorized, but not really, because I try not to make it too often. It has quite a bit of sugar in it and a stick and a half of butter, but that's what makes it good. Anyway, put that in the oven, and then 50 minutes later it was done. And I had a mess in my oven because I'm terrible about overfilling it. I put too many strawberries in it or something. You're only supposed to use 5 cups of fruit, and I might have used 6. So that's what I get. I get a mess in my oven. But my oven was kind of already messy anyway, and I'm planning on cleaning it before we move out, or after we move out. And then it'll be clean for the next people. That'll be fun. But no, so I made the cobbler, and then my 2 oldest children and my husband and I, we played a game, and it was fun. It was, I think it was called 5 Drives. No, it wasn't. No, I don't remember what the game was called, but it has to do with, oh man, it's so confusing. 7 Wonders, that's the name. There we go. The name of the game that we played this morning was 7 Wonders, and it didn't take too long. It was pretty quick and easy, and which was a good thing because it was time to get ready for church after that. We have to leave for church at like 10 to get there on time, maybe 10:15 to get there on time. It's half an hour away, and so we actually got there on time. I was shocked, and I didn't speed. I'll tell you that. I wasn't speeding, so I didn't get pulled over, and I didn't feel guilty about speeding. No, I usually don't feel guilty about speeding. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but anyway, got to church, had a nice time at church, and then after church got our grocery order from Walmart, which is a great plan. I feel bad for people who have to work on Sundays, or at least who feel like they need to work on Sundays to make more money. perhaps they use a different day to relax and rest. I don't know. Hopefully they don't work every day of the week, because that would be miserable. Anyway, yeah. The lady who brought out the grocery order, she was really funny. And I had picked up groceries from her like a week or two ago. I don't know. And she was funny then too. We were talking about how some parents don't like make their kids behave, and she thinks that's crazy. And when her nieces and nephews come to her house to be babysat, they know not to mess with Auntie, which I thought was funny because she says what she means and means what she says, and they know they're not going to get away with stuff. Anyway, today it was kind of a weird conversation. This has happened several times. People ask me, do you have a wood-burning stove? And I say, yep, sure do. And it's just so funny. They can smell it on my clothes and apparently in my van. And well, she was telling me how her grandparents had a wood-burning stove, and she just loved being reminded about them and whatnot. And then she told me that she buys bricks of wood or something from a witch lady, and she takes those to her house, and then she burns them in her house and loves the smell. And double bonus, she said that they keep the bad stuff away. And I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds great. Well, have a great rest of your Sunday. And I felt so bad because I wish I said something different, like, well, I don't even know what I could have said. But it was an interesting conversation. She's a nice lady. Otherwise, I had a neighbor at our old house for a little bit, and she was nice too. But she was telling me how outer space is not all space. It's actually just water up there, up in the sky. And that was an interesting thing. She said all the pictures are faked from space. It's all faked. Everything is actually just water out there in the sky surrounding Earth. Anyway, there's some interesting stuff that people believe. I have a friend in Wyoming, and she has a friend over in like New York or something, and they actually aren't friends anymore because the friend somewhere else was like, the Earth is flat and you need to believe it's flat also. And then my other friend in Wyoming was like, I disagree with you. I'm not going to agree with you. Let's stop talking about this. But the other friend was like, no, we're not done talking about this, and I just can't stop telling you, you have to believe it. And she wouldn't let it go. So my friend had to stop being friends with the other friend. It sounded insane, for real. It's interesting how many different beliefs there are out there. Yep, I'm sure mine are different than others also. We're all different and all believe different things about different stuff. Anyway, got home from church and I did not feel like making food, partly because I ate a piece of pizza and I was content. But I did decide I should eat the cucumber and the tomatoes that are in the fridge because they've been in there all week, and I shouldn't have bought more without using the previous ones. I'm trying to get better about meal planning still. Maybe one day it'll get there. Maybe, just maybe. But it was a really delicious salad I made with that cucumber and tomato and red onion and olive oil and salt and pepper and Italian seasoning, and my mom gave me some seaweed seasoning. It's nice and salty and gives a nice flavor. So yeah, that was a salad I made, and that's all I really ate for lunch because I ate pizza, so I didn't really only eat that for lunch. I ate the pizza and that for lunch. But that's all I fed my husband because he didn't come to church with us, so he didn't get pizza. Yeah, when I bought the pizza, I was thinking there's 7 of us in our family, so we each get 1 piece, and then there's 1 piece left over. But then after all the kids and I got a piece, there were 2 pieces left over, and I was so confused for a minute there. It was like I didn't know what I was... Well, I'm good at math most of the time, but I was very confused for a second. And also, after I got the pizza, I drove down to the south of the town and I donated some stuff to the store because the thrift store has a donation warehouse and you just drop it off on the deck there when it's after hours. It's kind of nice. And I don't have to throw it away or something. I hate throwing away stuff when it's perfectly useful. It's not my favorite thing. And I'm bad too because then I hate it when other people throw away good stuff because then I want to take it and give it to the thrift store. But there's so much stuff in the world. And some people are hoarders. And it's not very fun to think about cleaning out a hoarder's house. But good thing I don't have to yet. My mom is a hoarder a little bit. Maybe her house won't be too horrible to clean up when she's gone. I don't know. We'll find out. But for now, I'm just talking about this day. And after I dropped off that stuff, I wanted to go check out the furniture store because in our new house, we want a different table. Because the current table we have, it's about 8 feet long and 3.5 feet wide or so. And it's really uncomfortable with sitting on the chairs. They're terrible. And the screws come off every now and then, so I have to retighten them. And we don't like the set, so I feel like I'm looking for a new set. But I got to the furniture store and it was closed. Also, I tried to go to a health food store and it was also closed because it's Sunday and they're closed apparently. I think they were closed mainly because it's winter. A Sunday in the middle of winter, even though today was a nice day. It was like 60, maybe it was 48, I don't know. It seemed warm. Maybe in the 50s. It seemed fine. But it was closed and that was a bummer because then I couldn't buy some kimchi, which actually I had kimchi on my order today with groceries, with grocery pickup from Walmart, and I don't remember putting it in the fridge. So I'm thinking I didn't get it, or it was out of stock, or it's still in my van. That would be a bummer. At least it's kind of chilled outside, and kimchi is a fermented thing anyway, so it's just getting more fermentation, right? It'll be fine. I don't know. We'll find out in the morning or after I stop this video, and then I'll check my grocery pickup and see if it was actually fulfilled or not. Which also reminds me, last week when I bought groceries, there were some moldy spots on my bell peppers, so I needed to get a refund on those. But I feel like waiting a week to ask for a refund is a little bit long. So then I feel like I have to go through the system in a weird way, and well, you know what, the apples that I got today, they were kind of mushy and gross. I ate one on the way home, so that's also what I had for lunch. I ate a lot actually. And it was a little bit mushy and it was not very enjoyable, and I was not really wanting to finish it and eat the whole thing, but I did because I don't like wasting food. But then it was not fun. It was not enjoyable at all. Anyway, sorry, I digress. We got home at some point, and then somebody was coming to look at a bunk bed that I put up for sale, and well, they said that they could come this afternoon, and like 4 hours went by and it was like 5 o'clock, and so I said, hey, are you still interested in coming to look at the bunk bed? And they said, yeah, I'm just busy showing some other stuff right now. And I said, okay, cool. Just checking. So then they came at like 5:30 or so. And that was fun. And I wasn't really that firm on the price. And he asked, are you firm on the price? And I said, no. I just wanted to list it and then let somebody talk me down. And that's the truth. I didn't really want the whole thing. I'm just happy with the idea of getting it out of here because I don't want to move it. And we don't have room for it in our new house. It's not a tiny house, but it's definitely smaller. Our house right now is about 2,000 square feet. And I think the house we're going to is like 1,500 or 1,600 square feet. Still pretty excited. I think the basement is like 250 square feet. It's not a very big basement. It's just a room. And my daughter was like, Daddy might let me stay in that room. And I'm like, no, I don't think he will. Partly because the way you get into the basement is like a trap door. So that's not normal. And there's a little window in there and it's not egress. And that's where the furnace and the water heater are. She doesn't need a bedroom in the basement. But also, I guess 3 weeks ago there was some water that got into that basement. And that might have been another reason why the people wanted to leave. Because they didn't want that to happen again. I don't know. But we're pretty excited. Also, my mom has bought a house in our town. And so she's going to live a block away from us. And that was fun. We're pretty excited to live a block away from my mom. At least my kids are really excited. I'm pretty excited though too. My husband is less excited, but he was telling me that he can sacrifice for the sake of his family, which is really great. He's a great guy. That's why I married him. Yep. But something really bad almost happened today. My son, the other guy in my life. My son was on a bike ride and he wasn't watching where he was going and the cop almost ran over him. It was crazy. And the cop stopped his vehicle and got out and talked with him, and my son was very scared and nervous, and yep. But the cool thing is that the cop knew where we lived, so he came to our house and told us what happened so we wouldn't be alarmed. And we had a nice conversation with the cop. It was great fun. And we found out he's gonna live a block away from us also. So, it's fun stuff. It's fun living in a small town. There's actually 3 cops, I think, here in town. Maybe 4. 4 cops. Yep. It's kind of funny here because there's not that much that goes on, which is nice. But I was talking to my other cop friend who's a lady, and she said that the southwest quadrant of town, so they divide it into 4 quarters, and that part of the pie shape of town is where the drugs are mostly. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Good thing we're not buying a house in that quadrant. But yeah, I made jalapeno poppers for dinner because they're yummy. And I also wanted to cook extra bacon to do BLTs, but it didn't work out. I didn't cook enough bacon, and so I didn't get to have a BLT. I got to have a jalapeno popper LT. And it was actually pretty good. I like cream cheese and jalapenos on a sandwich. It was pretty delicious. And I did spinach instead of lettuce because I didn't have very much lettuce. I had half a head of romaine. That was not good enough for everybody in our family. And my son's friend was over, so he also got a sandwich. And then they left. And then it was time to get ready for bed in an hour or so. I don't know. I had kind of a rough day also, I'll tell you that. On the way to church, all my children were being so loud. I'm not sure if I'm the only one or not, but oh man, all the noises are starting to drive me crazy. And I don't know if it's just me or if everybody goes through this, but oh man, noises all the time, driving me crazy. It's really hard for me to express myself in this matter, but I feel a little bit guilty with being annoyed with all the noises, but it still doesn't stop me from saying, shh, everybody, be quiet. You're driving me crazy. And yeah, so this evening at 7:30, I just wanted to be alone. So I went into my one daughter's room and I sat there in the dark and I practiced my Spanish. I've been doing Duolingo and it's pretty fun. I enjoy Duolingo. It's also kind of addicting because they have the stages or whatever. I mean, they make it like a game, like a video game, and it's a competition. So you can be in the Diamond League, and I like being in the Diamond League because it's the best one. And it means nothing. That's what it really means. I was talking to a high school kid last year, and he was talking about his streak on something, and I was like, what? Like the flames or something? I don't even know which app it was. Maybe Snapchat, I think. Anyway, it's so meaningless and pointless. Like, these kids are just getting this huge flame count, and it means nothing. Literally. They're wasting their time getting lots of flames between each other. Oh man, like they just take blurry pictures and send them. Like they don't even look at each other's pictures or something. I don't even know. It's really annoying to me to even think about. That drives me crazy, worse than all the other noises. No, it doesn't. The noises are pretty annoying to me right now. But anyway, my streak on Duolingo is pretty big. Pretty proud of it. It's over 200, which I feel like is pretty impressive. I'm impressed with myself. How about that? Anyway, so that's what I did. And then I was kind of tired at that point, and I almost wanted to fall asleep. But then, like, I just had to do my Duolingo. And then when I was looking at the league or whatever, somebody else was online and they were making more points too. And then it made me have to keep going, and then I wasn't tired anymore. And then I couldn't just go to sleep on my daughter's bed. And then I called my mom, and that was fun to talk to her and tell her about my son's mishap with the police officer. And it was actually kind of cool because the police officer said he pressed the record button after he almost hit my son, and apparently it records a minute before you press that button. It's like magic. I don't know how it's possible. Pretty cool technology. And well, maybe. Yeah, no, I have no idea how it works. It's magic. So I told my mom about that, and then I don't remember what else I told her about. But this morning, I also sent her a dumb video of a wife and husband, and the husband was laying down on the counter, and she was pouring ranch into his mouth. And I was like, what is going on? And she just kept pouring it and pouring it. And then I was like, is he going to swallow that? How is he going to swallow that? That sounds disgusting. And then when she was done, when his mouth was completely full of ranch, so like imagine him laying down and his mouth is open and she's pouring ranch into it until it's all the way full, like a whole cup of ranch. And then she grabbed a carrot and dipped it into his mouth and ate it, and then he laughed, and then he turned over and spit out the ranch. It was a funny video. I don't know if that was funny to you hearing that or not, but it was great fun. And then I called her, and then we talked about it, and she was still laughing about that ridiculous video. I like sending fun videos. Anyway, that was pretty much it. And then I went downstairs and made all my kids get ready for bed. And then at 10 o'clock, they all went to bed. And now it's past 10. And it's time for me to go to bed. And yep, we will talk to you on the next video. And whenever we talk to each other again, it'll be fun. I mean, at least for me, I feel like I do all the talking. I don't know. So silly. Okay. Well, have a great night, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.